I have nowhere to put these napkins, and a bit of patchwork is going to fix that. I have nowhere to keep these little napkins or serviettes, so because I always like doing things I'm going to use useful stuff around the house, let's make some patchwork for this project. Of course, there are 1,000 ideas and there are a million different ways to do this. Well, maybe not a million, but there are so many different ways to do it. Maybe you can do scallop edges. Maybe you can sew it from the inside so you don't see any seams. You can even make a bit more of patchwork and little strips to make it much more colorful, or even with shapes. So I'm going to do it as simple as possible so I can see how I do and maybe make different ones for next time, because you can even use it. I haven't made these baskets before, but for cupboards and drawers it's really good. It's potential there. If you like videos about sewing, consider subscribing, because I upload twice a week and that way you don't miss anything. Maybe you just want to have a relaxing time watching my sewing adventures, so go ahead and subscribe. And I leave you here the link to my Instagram account, because sometimes I upload things that I'm doing that I don't film for the YouTube channel, or maybe even some updates on things I'm doing, so go and have a look. I always say that I like to make useful stuff, things I'm going to use around the house, not only sewing just for the sake of sewing and leaving something useless in a drawer with no purpose at all. So let's do something for these little napkins. They're really useful because they're only little, you don't need much more for your everyday life, and they're useful for my boy as well, for my son. So let's use this. I also like making the most out of everything I have, and I have lots of little scraps. The serviettes measure 11.5 centimeters, which is a bit random, but anyways. So I'm just going to make a little basket that comes up. It's going to be open on top, so you can have you can easily grab your serviette, and they'll be by hand. So I'm going to do that in one layer, and then the inside is going to have a lining, and I'm going to be using some interfacing as well, so it has a bit more of a structure. I'm going to start by cutting 5 pieces of fabric and sew them right sides together until I form this cross. Then I'm going to sew them together along the sides so I can form a Q, in which I'm going to insert the lining I've done the same way and hem them together on top. So the easiest thing when doing this is to make a little pattern, even though it's an easy rectangle or square of material, but that way you can work without thinking too much. The worst thing about patchwork is how time-consuming it is, which is also a good thing if what you want to do is to just pass your time. But yeah, sometimes it takes so long. Now that my little crosses are done, I'm going to press the seams so they are nice and neat, and I'm going to interface the lining so it's a bit more structured. At first I thought, because I have lots of canvas here, that I shouldn't do it, but let's do it so it looks nicer, because sometimes like the look of it also makes it stand for itself, doesn't it? And now it's time to pull the sides up to sew them right sides together, like so, making sure you don't have any steps or wrinkles that make it a bit uglier. With my little baskets done, what I have to do is turn them inside out, well, right sides out. I'm going to cut corners, not cut corners, but cut the corners so I can have nice edges, like so. And now right sides out. And the same with the other one, although I cannot cut the corners because of the interfacing. I already sewn them in, and I haven't got to put them right sides out because this is the lining and I want this bit to be seen. So right inside the other it goes. And now, because I'm making it really simple, I think it's the first little square basket I make, although you can count the doorstop, I guess, as a square basket, although it's filled in. But I mean, I haven't done this before, I don't know why, and of course you can do it much more detailed with different patterns or different patchwork on each panel, and you can also make shapes. I'm just making it quite simple. So now, because it's simple, I'm just going to push the sides in so I can sew on top. So with this, let me try. Useful little napkin holder. So that's good. That way they won't be hanging around the kitchen. I had them in a Tupperware before. Just this morning they were in a Tupperware. So now they're here. And you can open them and you can even put them to the side. I don't know if it'll be good, so you can have just grab one, but maybe nah, it doesn't look as nice. So things have to be useful but cute as well, so let's put them to the other side. I've been touching all of the napkins. Well, like so. And you can have it in the lining as well on the outside, so it looks different. Maybe you don't fancy all those colors one day, or maybe you are bored with it, so you can have a change with this lovely oranges fabric. I made a handbag with it, and my friend Trini, I leave you a link to everything. So with this, all the napkins are going to be nice and cozy in here. I have a few doubts. Maybe I should have interfaced the outside fabric and not the inside, or maybe even both, so it's a bit more structure. But anyways, once you put the napkins in there, it's nice and square, so it's not going anywhere. And you can do many different ideas. You can do different shapes. You can use bias tape, or you can even sew it on the outside instead of top stitch it. Many different options, so maybe I can even make another one for the kitchen downstairs, so it's always useful to have. Consider subscribing, and I leave you a link here to all the little things with scraps you can make that are really interesting, and I'll see you around on Monday. Bye!